Oljeitus, Olcayto or Oljeitus, Oljeitu. Ölziit, also known as Muhammad Khodabandeh, was the 8th Ilkhanid dynasty ruler in Tabriz, Iran from 1304 to 1316. His name, Ölziit, means blessed in the Mongolian language. He was the son of the Ilkhan ruler Arghun, brother and successor of Mahmud Ghazan, and great-grandson of the Ilkhanate founder Hulagu. Life. Oljeitu was the son of Arghun's third wife, the Christian Ilkhan. Oljeitu was baptized as a Christian and received the name Nicola after Pope Nicholas IV. In his youth he at first converted to Buddhism but then to Sunni Islam together with his brother Ghazan. He later converted to Shia Islam after coming into contact with Shia scholars, although another source indicates he converted to Islam through the persuasions of his wife. He changed his first name to the Islamic name Muhammad. Some of his relatives and companions gave him a nickname of Khodabandeh. Rashid al-Din wrote that he adopted the name Oljeitu following Yuan Emperor Oljeitu Timur enthroned in Dardu, but some Muslim source mentions that it reigned when he was born, and delighted Mongols called him Mongolian name Oljeitu, meaning auspicious. After succeeding his brother, Oljeitu was greatly under the influence of Shia theologians al-Hilli and made them al-Bahrani. In 1306, Oljeitu founded the city of Sultaniya, and upon al-Hilli's death, Oljeitu transferred his teacher's remains from Baghdad to a domed shrine he built in Sultaniya. Later, alienated by the factional strife between the Hanafis and the Shafis, Oljeitu changed his sect to Shia Islam in 1310, believing it to be the true version of Islam. However, it has also been reported that he reconverted to Sunni Islam prior to his death. Merkond reportedly claims he started the custom of taking children from Christian and Jewish families to be raised as Muslims, analogous to the later Ottoman system of Devshirme. In 1309, Oljeitu founded a Dar al-Saida in Shiraz and endowed it with an income of 10,000 dinars a year. He died in Sultaniya, near Kazvin, in 1316, having reigned for 12 years and 9 months. Afterwards, Rashid al-Din Hamadani was accused of having caused his death by poisoning and was executed. Oljeitu was succeeded by his son Abu Sa'id. His magnificent tomb in Sultaniya remains the best-known monument of Ilkhanid Persia. Relations with Europe. Trade contacts. Trading contacts with European powers were intense during the reign of Oljeitu. The Genoese had first appeared in the capital of Tabriz in 1280, and they had a consul in residence by 1304. Oljeitu also gave full trading rights to the Venetians through a treaty in 1306. According to Marco Polo, Tabriz was specialized in the production of gold and silk, and Western merchants could purchase precious stones in quantities. Military alliance. After his predecessor Arghun, Oljeitu continued diplomatic overtures with the West, and restated Mongol hopes for an alliance between the Christian nations of Europe and the Mongols against the Mamluks, even though Oljeitu himself had converted to Islam. 1305 Embassy. In April 1305, he sent a Mongol embassy led by Buscarello de Gaisolfi to the French King Philip IV of France, Pope Clement V, and Edward I of England. The letter to Philip IV, the only one to have survived, describes the virtues of concord between the Mongols and the Franks. We, Sultan Oljeitu, we speak. We, who by the strength of the sky rose to the throne, we, descendant of Genghis Khan. In truth, there cannot be anything better than concord. If anybody was not in concord with either you or ourselves, then we would defend ourselves together. Let the sky decide. Quote, He also explained that internal conflicts between the Mongols were now over. Now all of us, Timur Kargin, Chapa, Tokhtoga, Togba and ourselves, main descendants of Genghis Khan, all of us, descendants and brothers, are reconciled through the inspiration and the help of God, so that, from Nankian in the Orient to Lake Dala our people are united and the roads are open." Quote. This message reassured the European nations that the Franco-Mongol alliance, or at least attempts towards such an alliance, had not ceased, even though the Khans had converted to Islam. 1307 Embassy. Another embassy was sent to the west in 1307, led by Tommaso Ugi di Siena, an Italian described as Oljeitu's Ilduce. This embassy encouraged Pope Clement V to speak in 1307 of the strong possibility that the Mongols could remit the Holy Land to the Christians, and to declare that the Mongol embassy from Oljeitu cheered him like spiritual sustenance. Relations were quite warm. In 1307, the Pope named John of Montecorvino the first Archbishop of Khanbalik and Patriarch of the Orient. European nations accordingly prepared a crusade, but were delayed. A memorandum drafted by the Grand Master of the Knights Hospitallers Guillaume de Villeret about military plans for a crusade envisaged a Mongol invasion of Syria as a preliminary to a Western intervention. A corps of Frank mangonel specialists is known to have accompanied the Ilkhanid army in the conquest of Herat in 1307. Mongols besieged the castle in Gilan for so long that epidemic and lack of food supply forced Gilans to submit to them. He punished Khatads in Herat as well. Byzantine Emperor Andronicus II gave a daughter in marriage to Oljeitu and asked Ilkhan's assistance against growing power of the Ottomans. In 1305, Oljeitu promised his father-in-law 40,000 men, and in 1308 dispatched 30,000 men to recover many Byzantine towns in Bithynia, and the Ilkhanid army crushed a detachment of Osman I 1313 embassy. On April 4, 1312, a crusade was promulgated by Pope Clement V at the Council of Vienne. Another embassy was sent by Öljaitu to the west and to Edward II in 1313. That same year, the French king Philippe le Bel took the cross, making the vow to go on a crusade in the Levant, thus responding to Clement V's call for a crusade. He was however warned against leaving by Enguerrand de Marigny, and died soon after in a hunting accident. Oljeitu finally launched a last campaign against the Mamluks, in which he was unsuccessful, though he reportedly briefly took Damascus. A final settlement with the Mamluks would only be found when Oljeitu's son signed the Treaty of Aleppo with the Mamluks in 1322.